Hello YouTube, my name is Hero and today I'm going to be releasing my most highly requested video of my whole YouTube career, a full in-depth guide to Warrior. This guide was something I never wanted to make because I know so much about Warrior. I knew it would take a lot of work and I'm lazy as shit, to be honest. Oh, and also people are retarded and will think I'm trying to claim that I'm the God King Captain Master Champion of the class when I absolutely am not even close. To be real, I'm actually pretty bad at the class now. I've gotten rusty in my old age and these young kids are doing combos I've never even imagined. Like seriously, what the fuck is this shit? Like, who does this shit? Whose mans is this? Anyways, even though I'm not the best warrior anymore, that doesn't change the fact that I know a lot about this class. I mean, I've literally played it for years. So with all the information I'm going to give, this video will end up being rather long. In order to decrease the length of this video, I will be linking my video in the description, which is a PvP guide for all classes that covers the basics of PvP and BDO. I highly recommend you watch that guide before watching this one, as I will use a lot of information from that guide to better explain myself here. Lastly, I am not going to be reading out every single skill or combo or whatever. I'll only discuss the things I deem to be important or things that most people may not know. All right, let's begin. The main thing I hear a lot of people who are interested in playing Warrior complain about is the pre-awakening is boring. And while I can't say I disagree with them, having a strong understanding of what the pre-awakening of your class is capable of doing will greatly help your PvP game. The same can be said for all classes, so let's focus on learning the core fundamentals of the pre-awakening first. I'll be covering mobility at a later point in the guide, so for now we're going to focus only on skills that are used without their mobility in mind. So let's start off with one of the most important of these skills, and one I see vastly underused by most warriors, Piercing Spear. This skill is insanely good for several reasons. For one, it is one of our two ranged attacks as warriors, and when used off CD, it can apply a stiffness to opponent, giving us an opportunity to get closer and perform a combo. Unfortunately, most classes nowadays have iframes, super armor, and just flat out blocks that can make it nearly impossible to land this on someone with half a brain. However, because it's so underused, you can actually catch some targets off guard with it. It also has a big AoE effect that can cover your opponent's screen if they actually have effects on, which can be good for a surprise attack as well. There are many ways to use this thing, so just start using it more. Next skill we're going to go over is Deep Thrust, and this skill is probably the most useful skill we have in our pre-awakening kit other than our grab. The potential with this skill is enormous as it provides the only knockback CC in our kit. Knockback is an extremely rare form of CC, and because of this, you can pull off some really dumb combos with this ability. It's also very good against classes with iframes, as sometimes it can catch them through the iframe. It's really good and you should use it to initiate on opponents without blocks up, or even to extend CC duration of Piercing Spear. Then there's Ground Smash, which a lot more warriors are starting to use lately for dank meme combos. While this is a decent skill, I don't think it's entirely necessary to use, especially since you may not always get that down smash proc, which just kills a combo. But we'll get more into that later. Another skill similar to the Ground Smash in effectiveness is Counter. More specifically, the max level rank of Counter, Force Slash, which makes a wave on the ground and stuns your opponent and floats them. This is our second range skill, but just like Ground Smash, it's typically just used to show off and has a chance to mess up your combo due to the potential of the float not proccing. So why I do not use this skill. I also want to quickly touch on the grab. A lot of people ask me if they should get double grab that allows a warrior to grab twice. My answer to them is if you are a team-based warrior, you should get double takedown because it locks your opponent in CC for a longer period, allowing your team to kill them easier. If you are a solo warrior who wants to one combo, do not get double takedown. Finally, spinning slash is a very good skill that most warriors don't use. While it doesn't do a down attack, it does back attack. So if you get someone on the ground and use this while behind them, you can get off some pretty good damage if your awakening skills are on CD. And that's all I want to cover in terms of damage potential when it comes to the pre-awakening tree. Now let's get into the awakening. The very first thing I want to discuss in the awakening tree for warriors is Great Sword Defense, aka Guard. It has come to my attention that many warriors are not aware of this, but the Guard in Awakening stance is our single best skill. It is what makes us as amazing as we are. Whenever we block, we gain super armor for the entire duration of the block, meaning we cannot be CC'd unless it is a grab. After we are done guarding, we have a time frame that I have calculated to be around 3 seconds where we are still unable to be CC'd except by grab. This effect only occurs whenever we receive the 26 AP and 20 DP buff. Oh yeah, that's right, we get 26 AP and 20 DP just for blocking, which is pretty cool as well. Now, knowing how to keep your super armor up as much as possible is what makes a warrior a good warrior. As many classes don't have grabs, there are situations where they simply cannot kill you if they can't CC you. Please take advantage of this. Next, I want to talk about Great Sword Training, or Warrior's Basic Attack. I would normally say don't level this skill 9 times out of 10, however there are times where you're in a long combo and you simply cannot be bothered to block in order to get that 26 AP buff. That's where leveling the basic attack comes in handy. At max rank, you get 26 AP for basic attacking. You should never actually use a basic attack. However, if you animation cancel a basic attack with armor break, you will get a 26 AP buff. This is great for when you're doing combos. Speaking of armor break, this skill is amazing and needs to be used more. It gives your opponent a negative 30 DP buff, which is the same as giving yourself a 30 AP buff. Not only that, but it has forward guard if used on CD, and it has a stiffness effect. This skill is simply amazing and you should use it whenever you can. Next up, Overwhelm, another amazing skill, but one that most warriors don't know about. You can actually put this skill on a hotkey and use it whenever you want, rather than having to wait until after using Solar Flare. You can use this to catch people so easily as it is so freaking quick. Make sure you put it on a hotkey. Some recommend locking it, but I don't prefer to lock it as it doesn't flow well from Solar Flare when you do, and sometimes you do want to do that combo. Don't forget that this skill actually gives 10% down attack damage increase, which is freaking huge. You can even use Overwhelm before engaging to ensure you have the buff up as well. Now we're going to talk about two skills you probably didn't know warriors had: Balance Strike and Flow Hilt Strike. This combo is amazing. It's our only effective stun CC and it works very often. Using this to stun someone will give you the opportunity to start disgusting combos. Start using these two abilities more. Flow Knee Kick is also on the list of underused warrior skills, though this one is a little more warranted. It's not a terrible skill, but it's not amazing either, considering Overwhelm is a great float already that also gives a flat 10% damage increase on the rest of our combo. Knee Kick lowers attack speed and cast speed of your opponent, but not movement speed. Grave Digging lowers all three by a higher percentage, and not only that, but Ankle Break has become a key point in warrior combos as of late, and its keybind, down F, makes it kind of awkward because if you're a spam clicker like me, after you use down F, you'll use Knee Kick, which is terrible. Personally, I lock this skill and I do not ever use it, but it does have its uses, I am not denying that. Specifically animation canceling abilities. In that regard, this ability is very good, it just doesn't match my personal retard playstyle. Now the rest of the skills I feel are being used enough and are simple enough that I don't have to go over them individually. Instead, we're going to be talking about combos now. Okay, so for this part of the guide, I'm going to show some combos. There are plenty of combos that Warrior is capable of doing, but only a few that I will call practical. Practical meaning you can actually pull these off with a higher than 50% success rate. First, we're going to talk about combo initiation. There are 4 ways I like to initiate a combo in most situations. 1. Slashing of the Dead into Grave Dig. This is the most common initiation because it is very safe and very simple. I will use this to initiate whenever there are multiple targets. This is not recommended in small scale fights though. Solar Flare into Balance Strike. This combo is more for single target use. It stiffens then stuns the opponent, allowing me to do as I please afterwards. Grab into whatever. I never recommend starting with a grab as it kills combo potential, but sometimes you simply do not have a choice, especially if you're fighting someone who guards a lot. Piercing Spear, Deep Thrust into whatever. This initiation is used for targets that are far away, allowing me to get in close. Now that we've gone over combo initiation, we're going to go over my thought process during a combo. This is what goes through my mind after I perform some kind of CC on my opponent. My first question to myself, is my opponent standing up? If the answer is yes, debuff with armor break, then float them. If the answer is no, I will ask the next question. Do I still have a grab? If the answer is yes, I will use my grab. If the answer is no, I will use either ankle break or pulverize in hopes of proccing the down smash to extend my combo. While performing a combo, there are priority skills I like to focus on for maximizing DPS. Those skills are armor break, overwhelm, grave dig, reckless blow. Unless I am using E-buff, then reckless blow takes precedent over grave digging. Remember, debuffs and buffs to yourself comes first. These will give your combos more potency and allow you to do devastating damage even if your AP isn't the highest. Now a full combo will look like this if they are standing up. And it'll look like this if they are on the ground. And that's pretty much it for combos. Like I said, I don't see a need for all that flashy stuff 99% of the time, as it's simply impractical in my eyes. And also because I suck. Now we're going to talk about gear. And well, there isn't much to say about gear other than get 5 attack speed, wear Vanguards, and put a crit gem in the Vanguards. Seriously, if you aren't doing these 3 things, you're most likely doing something wrong. One thing I will go over is the crit stat. While this does not increase crit damage, it does increase crit chance. As you may already know, many of Warrior's highest hitting skill abilities have crit chance at 100% already, making crit effectively useless for those skills. However, there are some skills that do not have 100% crit rate, namely ankle break, and getting a higher crit rate on these skills will help your damage by a small amount. Also, casting speed is used to charge reckless blow, but you honestly should never charge reckless blow because that's just BM, bro. Now we're going to talk about some bonus shit. The first thing I want to say is stacking DP buffs. Did you know that Warriors can get 85 DP from his abilities alone? Let's add them up. Awakening block is 20 DP, pre-awakening block is 15, Scars of Dusk is 10, using Merciless or Moxie in Awakening gives another 20, and Reckless Blow skill add-on gives another 20. You can use all of these abilities except for Reckless Blow before engaging, and then make Reckless the first ability you use. Doing this stacking while keeping your SA up will make you a freaking tank. And this transitions us to skill add-ons. As I said before, I use Reckless Blow DP add-on, though it is not required at all. There are many good add-ons for the Warrior class. The only ones I would deem to be mandatory is Pain Damage on Grave Dig because it's just fucking stupid, and attack speed increase somewhere in here. I like to put my attack speed increase on Solar Flare just because I initiate with Solar Flare the most, and it also makes my ult go off a bit faster. Oh yeah, our ult. Here's a pro tip. Make sure you turn on point to click in your settings. This allows you to move your ult around in case you miss your target. Lastly, let's go over mobility really quickly now. there are a lot of different ways to get around the freaking map as a warrior, but the most important thing you have to keep in mind is using W plus F. W plus F every time it's off cooldown is your biggest mobility, and everything else you use is just waiting for WF to get off cooldown. You can use shift left click in unawakened form and spam that if you want to. You can use WQ left click in unawakened form, animation and canceling your guard, and forward attack if you want to. There's really different ways, but basically you're just waiting for WF to get off of cooldown. And that's it, guys. That's my warrior guide. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. It's your boy Hero. See you next time. Peace.